Hey guys, I'm Jack.
And I'm Andrew.
I'm Cade.
And I'm Garrett, and welcome to the
A Bite from Adam's Apple.
We're back from Adam's Apple.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is called. We're on episode 3.
You should sit a little closer to the mic.
We're on episode 3, I don't know what this is called.
Today we watched Hellraiser Bloodline.
The fourth Hellraiser.
The fourth Hellraiser movie.
Out of 9. Because
This works as a standalone movie. We should point out first of all, I have no idea how the other movies work.
I can't see anything that would build up to this, or anything that could.
I don't know how there's a Hellraiser 4.
This literally spans from like the French
It spans
Revolution
1700s. The span of this movie is about 400 years.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it
That
is.
seems really.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. It's probably more like 500.
400 to 500.
It's like mid 1700s.
It was a comprehensive guide to the world history in that time.
basically, yeah.
It starred Adam Scott.
That yes,
Closer to true than in previous episodes.
that is one reason
So
why
we
we watched it.
We watched the last days of Frankie the Fly. He was barely in that. He had 2 minutes. We watched Star Trek First Contact. He was in there for about 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't count how much Adam Scott was in this, but he was in it for, I would say, about the first half of the movie.
Yeah,
Which
this
is, yeah.
First quarter.
This
First
was
third.
Maybe something like that, yeah.
this was definitely probably his first more major role. He was there for a while. About
Had more than 2 lines. But he still hasn't found his calling for a comedy. We can say that.
No, not at all.
This is not intentionally a comedic movie, I would say.
Some parts were funny that were meant to be funny, and some parts were just freaking gross.
I'd also like to point out that I watched probably one half of this movie because the other half my head was in the pillow because
He was afraid.
yes, that's probably what made this movie the funniest was watching Gart throw himself onto the ground out of disgust. There were multiple occasions where he either screamed into a pillow or went to the corner of the room. It's very.
So what was a brief synopsis of this movie? I don't even know if that's possible.
blood, guts, and gore.
Okay,
A guy with pins in his face goes back in time to kill.
No, there's no time travel.
No, he's just always living.
I think I understand the timeline. I don't know how, but because there were multiple occasions where we were confused on whether or not parts of the movie were dreams.
Oh, yes.
Because it would have a character waking up immediately after what seemed to be major plot points. But if I understand correctly, there was a guy, a magician, who studied black magic, and he wanted to summon some demons. Who doesn't?
Are you talking about Cheeks?
What?
Cheeky McCheeks?
Yes, Cheeky McCheeks.
Who? Am I the only one who's gonna say who?
The old guy who
The magician.
Adam Scott was working with.
The one with
Forget
the
it.
terrible makeup.
Yeah.
He had quite the eccentric cheeks, but he wanted to summon. He wanted to summon a demon. So, out of all the people, he commissioned a toy maker to make a.
Who is named Toymaker?
No, his name was the Merchant.
Yeah, but
They
they
call
call
him
him Toymaker just as much as they call him Merchant.
Yes, and so he makes a box that can summon demons without realizing he's made a box that can summon demons. I don't understand how this happened.
Accidentally. Don't you just hate it when you accidentally make a box that can summon demons?
I did that once. Did I tell you about that?
You should probably destroy that thing right now.
I don't have
go.
the mirrors. I don't have enough mirrors.
Okay, so apparently this established a bloodline of toy makers. That would
Because
keep
he made this, it cursed his bloodline. Right?
Yes. And he gives it to the black magician. He uses it to.
The magician was like,
He gives it to the magician. The magician uses it. He doesn't summon a demon the first time, right? He kind of creates a demon.
He kind of just rips a woman's skin off and
Yeah.
then.
We should point out Adam Scott ripped a woman's skin off.
Yes.
Yes.
Adam Scott was the magician's assistant.
he's like the magician's nephew from the C.S. Lewis novel.
Except not.
Except not at all.
But yeah, Adam Scott's first appearance.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Pinhead.
We could go through big titles for all of this.
So I made a note of this. When Adam Scott first appeared, we were scared he wasn't going to say anything. He seemed like he was a mute for the first, couple of minutes he was on the screen. But he looked so lost. He looked like he had no idea how he had gotten into that room.
He was basically the reflection of us watching the movie.
as he kept like looking around as if he didn't quite understand what was going on. But they spawn this demon, and then she kills the toy maker. But he had a son who was also a toy maker. And then it instantly cuts to, what was it, like 300 years in the future?
1900.
Good old year 1996.
Present day.
Where another toy maker has been born, and he's like an artist?
No, he's an architect. He was building that giant building, and his plans were like about that cube.
Of course, because I've always wanted a house that looks like a giant cube.
Well, it was a room.
So he had built a giant version of this cube, and the demons wanted to use this cube to make a bigger gateway to invite their friends.
Bigger cube. And the whole thing is making bigger cubes.
So Pinhead and Pinfoot could finally reunite.
I forgot about the revelation that the toy maker had after he realized his box could summon demons. He decided to make an anti-box, which would destroy demons, but he didn't understand.
This was the 1700s one, right?
Yes, he didn't understand how to make it. He drew. It really looks like he drew the box and then just kind of drew some squiggly lines in the middle, and then passed that on from generation to generation.
So like he knew the concept, like what it needed, but he didn't have the technology, right?
Yes. So it kept so there are 3 generations throughout the movie. 1700s, he makes the plans for the anti-box. 1996, he tries to make the anti-box, but he's missing something. And then there's futures 2100 somewhere
63. 2163, I think.
That was Star Trek.
I'd like to point out that
that was 2063. Maybe this was...
Yeah, that was 2063. I'd like to point out that all of these different generations are played by the same actor. And we notice throughout the human timeline, we go from not having much hair and wearing wigs to having...
less and less hair.
No, we have a lot of hair in the 90s. He had this crazy hair in the 90s. Oh. Not crazy, but...
I would say probably less than the wig, though.
Yeah, he had less than the wig.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's beside the point.
Okay, and then we go to the 2100s, and he's got no hair. So the evolution of humans is going to have no hair, by the way.
Nah.
The lady in the future had hair.
Bit.
But in this future time, he has managed to build the anti-box, which is a giant setup of mirrors, which is actually a space station, which folds inside itself to form a giant cube.
Which is the set that they're on the entire time, right?
I don't know. This movie...
Something they had to wait for the sun alignment to reflect off the mirrors.
Here comes the sun.
Do-do-do-do.
Oh, now we can't release this copyright.
Oh, dang it.
I've literally got Billy Joel playing at the beginning of this episode.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Have we gone through the whole synopsis of it now?
That was essentially it.
Okay, so I'd like to point out my 2 favorite characters, which for the first time in the movies we've watched have not been Adam Scott. My favorite characters were the buddy cop film. There were 2 security guards that were played by twins. And
we think they're twins.
We looked them up.
Because they're not twins.
So at first they looked really different because they were slightly different heights and they were different lighting, and so they looked fairly different.
And then I said, "Is that the same actor?"
Yeah. And then they walked next to each other and they stood the same height. They looked the exact same. They sounded the same. And then we get even closer and they get merged together. They become the same person.
Yeah. Pinhead. They meet Pinhead. And
have we explained who Pinhead is?
Merges their faces together.
Have we explained Pinhead?
Pinhead is
the guy with pins in his head.
There you go.
The main character.
He's kind of the devil or something.
The main villain.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. He's some unrelenting force from...
He's a demon from hell.
Yes.
But he's not Satan.
No.
Was he trying to get to hell? Or is he...
I think he's trying...
I don't understand his motives.
He wants to get all of his friends from hell to Earth, I think.
He wants to have a giant hell party on Earth.
I've heard of Heaven on Earth, the song from the 80s, but I haven't heard that.
Sure, Hell on Earth is a thing, too.
Hell on Earth is a thing.
Okay.
It's just no one wants it, but... So, this movie, I felt at the begining, it was trying really hard to decide what it wanted to be. Because it was
comedy.
It was Star Wars, and then it was Matrix, and then it was Terminator. And then it went back and forth.
Okay, yeah, what is that robot for? So we see this robot in a room that explodes at the very beginning of the movie when he's messing around with the cube.
Well, Cade had a theory about that.
And then at the end, it explodes again.
Okay, I think he didn't want to be in the direct vicinity of Pinhead whenever he summoned him.
Mm-hmm.
So he built a robot he could interact with gloves, and the robot summoned him. And then he wanted to go set up his machine, but before he could, he was knocked out by the space team that was never explained to him.
But was he controlling the robot, or was the robot just sitting there?
He was controlling that's the whole point of the gloves they put on at the beginning. He was controlling the robot.
Because the shots that I saw, it looked like he was just controlling these two little hands on it, and then I just saw a robot sitting in the room that blew up. I was very confused by that.
So wait, was there like a romance going on between him and the lady?
You made all that up. You made that up.
Me? I don't think I made that up.
Who, Rimmer?
Yeah, Rimmer.
There was no romance in between.
No, there was.
There's definitely like a something.
No, we needed Meryl Streep had to be had to be
Meryl Streep. We never talked about Meryl Streep.
Yeah, we forgot.
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep and Bill Murray were in this movie. Really tied it together.
We thought the actress that played Merchant's wife in all of the timelines, except for the last one.
No, it was only Meryl Streep in the present.
I think it was the same actress.
No, it was somebody completely different.
It was. They were
very different people.
Because their bloodline wasn't cursed. They
just married into the bloodline.
Okay. Well, anyway, the second actress who played the wife of Merchant, Miss Merchant, as I would call her, is Mrs. Merchant, as I would call her. I would call her Miss Merchant, but I would be correctly wrong. Correctly wrong. I said that wrong too. Wrongly. I don't know.
Stop.
Anyway,
stop talking, please.
She looked like Meryl Streep.
Yes, it's kind of what we were going for.
All right, I think we should move on to the most important part of this movie, which was Adam Scott's appearance.
Of course.
Buddy cop film?
No.
Okay, well, we can say with certainty that the buddy cop was our favorite character.
Mm-hmm.
However, this is not a buddy cop podcast. This is about Adam Scott.
Maybe I'll start my own buddy cop podcast.
Sub-podcast buddy cops.
So Adam Scott played Jacques.
Yeah.
Who was...
Jaquez?
Jaquez.
Hey, Jaquez!
Who was, I talked about him earlier. He was the assistant to the magician.
The black guy? The black magician?
Cheeks the black magician.
Is that what he's written on IMDb?
And he ends up being... Was he also possessed? Or was he just on the demon side?
Who knows, man?
Clearly he was a demon.
Yeah, because he was there for 300 whole years.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that small...
Yeah, he reappears in the present time.
Yes, and when he reappears in the present, his hair has gotten quite fantastic.
He embraced the culture of the 90s.
Yes, it was
made up his own culture in the 90s. That haircut.
It was really thin and long on one side. It was kind of can you think of anyone whose hair looks even remotely similar to what his did?
Ozzy Osbourne.
The Skrillex guy.
Oh yes.
That's
it's kind of like Skrillex. It just not quite as long.
Very different people.
It kind of cut off a bit.
You know, I'm starting to develop a Adam Scott Pixar theory thing.
That's what I was thinking about that last time. Yeah, it's the same character and all.
Same universe.
Because, Race Car Valet did not listen to Frankie the Fly, and he let his hair grow out.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, man. Except that technically Hellraiser came before Frankie the Fly.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh, he listened to Frankie and had the haircut already?
No. He did not get killed by
her.
The lady whose name I now forget.
He
What
was
was her name?
demon.
Alexandria or something?
Alex.
See,
where
he
you're
was the
going.
demon in...
And then he lasted until 21 whatever when he was in Star Trek.
Yes!
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
We are onto something. All right, I think it's time that we answer a question. Ask a question.
I got one.
You have
So Adam, what was it like having your heart ripped out of your chest?
Well, I think we forgot to mention that.
We did.
Adam Scott in the present. This may be a kind of
Important plot point.
This may be the thing that ruins our theory. Adam was killed in 1996.
No, let's just assume that he
was a demon, so he lasted. We could say.
Maybe.
So he's a demon.
Wait.
Every other movie. In
I
Parks
think
and
I got
Rec,
it.
he's a demon. He's a demon in Parks and Recreation.
Pixar theory does not apply to their animated shorts. I don't think. Does it?
What?
Animated shorts.
Well, I'm
Are we
talking
saying
about like
TV shows don't apply to our
theory.
I think that's it. But whenever he constructed the box to resummon the demons, maybe he spawned Adam Scott as well, and he snuck onto the escape pod with
The ladies.
Merchant
Merchant and Lady.
Rimmer,
Yeah.
and escaped to Earth.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was the most gruesome part to me. When he got his heart ripped out.
No, that wasn't the most gruesome.
Well, that's the most gruesome part that I saw.
Yeah, good. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause after that, I kind of gave up on any part that looked like it was going to be gruesome because
you didn't see anything.
Because okay, the slashing in the face, because she slashes up his face with nails, which is yeah. But then she like kisses him or something, and he's got a big hole on his face after that, and then she's like puts her finger in the hole, and I kind of closed my eyes for that, so I didn't really get to see much of that. I'm glad I didn't. And then she like she pulls the finger out, and she's like, "Are you ready to die?" Something like that. I didn't even listen to the dialogue at this point. I was about to throw up. And then she like punches him in the gut, and I thought it was like, oh, Harry Houdini style, like death. And then she keeps going, and it didn't stop. And she like went up into it, and at this point I was on the ground. And then he ripped the heart out, and that's all I've heard. That was terrible.
Yeah, I mentioned this while we were watching it, but this film, it's a horror / action, I think is what it's listed as. And for being horror, like there was no suspense. They didn't even utilize jump scares. The sound design was awful. It was just like completely a film where its main goal is just to gross you out. Like the buddy cops, that was disgusting. Every scene,
Worm cakes.
That was not as disgusting. I could take that.
That was not as bad. Now, if they had started eating the worm cakes, I would have.
I would have been. I don't mind eat. I can watch Fear Factor, but I can't watch rip skin off cannibalism.
I was personally, I like the ripping skin of people better than the worms. That's a word.
You're morbid.
I don't like the worms.
Be concerned about that, Andrew.
It's not like I like either of them. It's a question of
you just
more
have a
or
preference.
less. Yes. Okay, let's move on. What was each of our favorite parts of that Adam's performance?
Oh gosh,
I can tell you mine.
Okay.
It was when he first appeared, and he was bringing Angelique into this room. His face was so confused. He was making an O with his mouth. He was squinting at Cheeks the Black Magician, and the worms that were on this table, and it tickled me.
Tickled me. Okay.
I think my favorite part was, before he was killed, and he was just being kind of lightly scratched at.
Lightly scratched at. Is that how you put that?
Yeah. I wrote this down. He was making very convincing whimpering sounds. He really sold it. He was like, yeah, It really made me feel pain for it.
I felt pain the whole movie.
My favorite part about this role.
You're totally allowed to say his hair.
Okay, good, because that's kind of what I was thinking. His hair. I mean, it's on par with his hair from Frankie the Fly. Although the gum, I think I ended up choosing gum for that one.
Yeah.
But I'll go with hair on this one.
Oh,
kind of defined.
I'm terrible at these. I'm finding a certain part. It was a pretty good knot when he tied the girl's wrist to the chair.
Did you know he was tying with
Well, the way he said, "So you don't bruise." That was
That was nice film.
cheeky. Yeah, it was nice. He was nice.
Nice guy.
It wasn't cheeky. The magician was cheeky.
All right then. Would we recommend this movie?
Nope. I'll start. No.
Before we do that, where would we put it on our scale of Adam Scott?
3.
yeah. This was I think the worst Adam Scott movie.
You know what? I'm gonna go against the tide a little bit here and say Frankie the Fly
was the best.
No, was the worst. Frankie was the worst. This and then Star Trek.
What's your reasoning for that? Just because you want to be different, or do you have
Well, I I thought this movie, one, it had a higher budget than Frankie the Fly. This is definitely the case. There's a little bit more production value that went into this, even if it's not that great. It was a little bit more exciting and not so boring as Frankie the Fly.
I feel like you had less of a story, though.
Yeah.
I didn't hate. It was a different story. It's not something. It was not that great, but
It was a triumph of the human spirit.
It's not something that I don't know. I don't think I've seen it before.
Oh yeah, I would definitely
I watched
go.
it a few minutes ago.
I would definitely go Hellraiser, Frankie the Fly, Star Trek.
I agree with
From
you.
worst to best?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, this movie didn't have a whole lot of, like, swearing like Frankie the Fly did. But,
Except for our swear.
Oh, yeah.
Our swear guy.
the one guy who said 4 of the 5 F-bombs. So, but, I mean, the gruesome skin ripping off kind of, overpowers that. So, this was definitely the worst.
Thank you.
Than Frankie the Fly.
Thank you.
And then Star Trek. I don't know what the heck Andrew was talking about, but... Sorry, Adam.
They're both trash.
We haven't seen like any good movies that Adam Scott's been in. I mean,
No, Star Trek was good.
No,
I enjoyed Star
Star
Trek.
Trek was pretty good.
Okay. I mean, I'm saying like it could still be. We could still see better. Star Trek wasn't.
It was not a perfect movie.
He needs to, whenever he starts like doing comedies, that'll be good.
Yeah.
Stop these stupid, just.
Come on, Adam.
Yeah,
What were
Adam.
you thinking 20 years ago?
What were you doing? Come on, man.
All right. Would we recommend this movie?
Didn't we just do
Literally
that?
just said that.
No. I'll say it again.
We pretty much covered that.
That's very cheating.
Andrew's checking his notes to see what we should do next.
All right. I think that about wraps it up today. Don't watch the film.
Never. Just go
Take
on.
our word.
Just skip that one.
If you do watch this film, watch it with subtitles because when the pigeon comes on screen.
Yeah, the dog. Well, guess what? I can't think of it.
Chatter.
Anytime the dog was on, the dog just kind of moved back and forth quite rapidly and just started chattering over and over again.
That was probably the creepiest part of the movie. That dog.
No.
Oh my gosh.
False. The buddy cop's
Hey,
getting so
shut up. You
deep.
didn't even watch. You didn't even watch the movie. You just
did
covered
watch.
your eyes the whole time. So.
Oh,
I'm not a horror guy.
yes.
Before we end this, I just want to point out that Cade called Adam Scott Adam Squat.
Because he was
Dirty
squatting.
dude.
Wasn't he squatting? At
No,
that
No.
that was. I wasn't making a pun. I just called him Adam Squat. I'm sorry, Adam.
Sorry we took your name in vain. Disrespect.
But Garrett did also say he was scared of jump squares.
Okay.
Jump squares.
I think we just had problems with
Pronunciation.
yes.
So, join us next time after we watch Hellraiser 5.
Yeah, good one.
What is our next
Actually,
one?
the next movie... Are we doing TV movies? I don't know.
I think so.
I mean, we should. I don't know if
Is
we'll
it
be
the
able
Boy
to
Meets
find
World one?
No, it's Payback is
Okay.
TV movie. If we can't find it for some reason, or we decide not to, Dinner and Driving is what comes after that.
Oh, that sounds better than
Yeah,
Hellraiser.
that sounds nice. I mean, the lesser evil is coming up.
Oh, no.
I think that might actually be the horror movie that he stars in. I don't know. I'll have to do some research. But definitely, Payback or Dinner and Driving. We'll see.
And we talked about it. You mentioned if we can find Payback. We still haven't been able to find City Scrapes Los Angeles. I did a very thorough search. I got a virus.
Yes. What was that?
Oh, that's right.
Yes, I actually got a virus on my computer as well. I had to get rid of that. But I spent a good half hour to 45 minutes.
Half hour.
No, that's a lot of going through links. Like, I looked for anywhere to buy it, stream it,
I
download
already
it.
did all that. I found places to stream it, but they asked for my credit card number. So
I would use uBlock to block the like little pop-ups that would pop up so it could go straight to the window.
But tell us what you did. You did download.
Okay, I found a torrent, and it was a bit shifty because it wanted my credit card, like you were talking about. But I used my ad blocking software to like get rid of the little pop-up that popped up, and I clicked the torrent anyway, and it gave me something titled Cityscape Skylines. So I was like,
Skylines?
Oh, Los Angeles.
What were you downloading?
No, and so I was like, I did it. This is it. And so I spent the it probably took like 15 minutes to torrent, and it was not Cityscapes Los Angeles. It was 50 MP3s titled in Russian. I think it was teaching a language. Because I listened to the first one, and it's just a bunch of kind of sounds, like vowel sounds the first time. But it sounds like it's in Russian teaching some.
But it's like an Asian woman.
Yeah, I think it may be in Russian teaching some Asian language. So if I ever want to learn Chinese,
are you sure
I just have to learn Russian.
Are you sure they weren't summoning Pinhead from your computer?
That could also be a possibility, but that would mean I would have to listen to all 53 in a row, which I wasn't planning on doing.
And make a cube.
Yes.
Kate, are you the toy maker?
Is it
I
your
hope I'm a toy maker.
I hope not.
Alright,
Hellraiser 10!
When did the last Hellraiser come out? Is there a chance for another one?
I think they're making one this year, actually.
They are?
I may be wrong about
Can
that.
we go to the premiere?
But
We will be the
I've
only
never seen this advertised in theaters.
no, there's a reason it's not advertised in theaters. It's
So if there's 5 more movies, and that one came out in 1996, are they releasing these yearly?
I don't know.
Hold on. Hellraiser Hell World was 2005. Hellraisers.
finally added the S.
Oh, that one, they don't have a year. They don't have anything.
Life and Times of Richard Burton, Richard Harris, and Peter O'Toole.
I don't think that's the same series. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about Hellraiser 10 coming out, but
Alright.
I don't think we're going to see it anyway.
I think we've dragged this on long enough.
Yeah, I'll cut parts of that out, for sure. Thank you for listening, everybody. See ya later.
Alligator.
After a while.
Crocodile.